Patrick.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Weekend Kickoff Show with Pam and Patrick.
How are you? How's your week?
My week was actually quite busy.
Was it?
We got a couple things going on.
We do.
I don't know if you know or people know. Yeah.
Like what?
Well, this thing is called the BCP.
Yeah.
The Boquete Community Players or
Yeah.
Playhouse, however you want to, line out those letters. We're getting a little fundraiser activity going for tomorrow night.
Do?
Yeah, we
Well,
do.
tell me.
Well, first of all, I have to remind everybody that this show is brought to you by the lovely folks at Big Daddy's.
Oh yeah, Big Daddy's. Boom boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Yes, all the shrimp and margaritas you can handle.
That's right.
Yeah, even the margaritas are a little boom, boom. They get that spicy
pretty
rim.
big, yeah.
Yes, they're a little on the spicy side, but they're delicious. So
Yes, they are.
check out Big Daddy's. But affiliated with Big Daddy's
Yes.
is another lovely place called the Tap Out Sports Zone.
Yes.
And tomorrow night at the Tap Out Sports Zone, we're going to have
Yes.
a fundraiser, karaoke silent auction fundraiser.
Wow.
We call it Carry Auction. To bring some money together to help pay for this year's theater season.
Yeah. Well, we got some specials also, food and drink specials, right?
We got food and drink specials. $15 buys you a bottomless drink all night long. You could be knocking back
That's
the
going
rum.
to be helpful for karaoke.
Absolutely, yes. The more you drink, the better everybody sounds.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be auctioning.
Yeah.
It starts out like a silent auction. You write your bid down on the clipboard there.
Uh-huh.
And we have, what do we have, like 20 wonderful
We have
items?
21 as of this morning.
Oh, 21, yes.
Yes.
Full Adventure Tours Boquete
Uh-huh.
has given up a gift certificate for a coffee tour.
Wow.
Yes, for 2 people. Also,
Yes.
another wonderful prize.
Uh-huh.
Oh, 2-night stay
Yes.
at the paradise that is Las Lajas Resort.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That's a fun place to go.
In
They have
addition,
so many activities there now.
do they? Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of things can you do?
You can horseback ride on the beach.
Oh, fun.
You can get a massage
Okay.
in a special little hut away from the main area
Uh-huh.
and listen to the ocean waves as you're getting a relaxing massage.
That sounds very nice.
They have all kinds of activities there.
I want to be there right now. No, I want to be here right now. But
Yes.
right after this, I'd like to be there. But no, because too busy getting ready for tomorrow night.
I know.
And we have like art things.
We have art. We have restaurant certificates. We've got just an array, a huge assortment
Wow.
of stuff.
I like the way you said assortment.
Assortment of stuff.
It's a certainly nice assortment.
Yes. So I have to tell you something, Patrick.
Oh, okay, Pam.
I'm getting ready to leave you.
Oh, now, what?
Yes.
Why? Was it something I said?
No, I'm actually going to see my children in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
So I'll only be gone for 1 week.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, next week we'll have maybe a guest host. I don't know. We could wrangle somebody else.
I'm sure we
I think I got somebody in mind. His initials are Mike Schwartz. Okay. Oh, wow. So you're venturing up into the northern country.
Yes, where I understand from an email I got from my son, it's 97 in Wisconsin.
Oh my.
Yes, I'm not used to that hot weather.
All the cheese is going to melt.
It is.
Oh,
And
my.
cheese curds in the street
That sounds diabolical.
and lots of beer.
Yeah, we'll need lots of
Yes.
beer. Yeah, what about are they still getting the smoke from the Canada fires?
They're not there where they are. Apparently,
Okay.
that's more on the East Coast.
Okay.
Not so much in the Midwest.
Well, for a while, it was affecting. My friends in Chicago said it was getting down
Was
there.
it getting down there?
But the wind and all that
I know.
changes.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a great and wonderful time.
Thank you.
And get right back here to us.
I will.
Okay?
I will.
Okay.
I promise.
All right, great. Well, we have an interesting and exciting guest today.
Tell me.
Well, Greg Smith.
Yes.
Here he is, right here at the table. I know you guys are wondering who's that guy just sitting there. Writer, author, adventurer, engineer. Yeah. Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
It's great to be here.
Welcome to the show. It's nice
At
to have
long
you.
last, I'm finally here.
I know it's the life dream of many people to be on this show.
It is. I've been waiting almost 10 years to get on this show.
See,
Wow.
see. Okay, so how you doing?
Tell us a little bit about you
Okay.
and how you got here.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I've traveled really all over the world. I've had jobs in a lot of different countries. And, Saudi Arabia, I helped set up a data center there.
Oh, I bet that was fun to live in Saudi Arabia.
It was. I mean, especially if you like sand and heat. It was really good. They actually import sand to Saudi Arabia.
They do?
They import sand. It's because apparently the sand that they have is too fine a grain to make concrete out of.
Oh.
So they import sand from other places that is, I guess, better to make concrete with.
Well, that's amazing. That's like coals to Newcastle, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, or water to Hawaii. Or
Yeah,
something
really.
Like that. Yeah.
Who would have thought of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I helped set up a data center there, and let's see, Christmas Eve of 1981, I had just generated a whole computer network of about 600 terminals, and I spent the day walking around signing into all of them to make sure they all worked.
Wow.
Wow.
Now that's before the internet.
Oh yeah,
you know.
way before
Yeah.
the internet.
But they have like were they like connected on like a
It was
little
all.
internet,
It was a
or-
local network for the engineering center there.
Okay.
That connected all the workstations for all the engineers. There were two parts to it. There was a oil exploration part, and then there was that looked for oil, and then there was a reservoir management part that managed the oil reservoirs after they found the oil.
Oh, okay.
And so this was all part of that engineering center. And
Wow.
when we first got there to set it up, we had to work in a different building. It was a 10-floor building, and we could look out the window and see our building was string on the ground. So I got there in April, and it was December when we finally got into it and we set up that network.
Wow.
Wow.
And the whole time we were working there, I was on the 10th floor, and if you went down to the 8th floor, there was a door at the end of a corridor, and it said, "Do not open this door unless you can fly like Superman."
Oh, really? Because it
And
just opened into
You
the.
opened the door, and there was an 8th-floor drop onto the desert floor.
Okay,
Wow.
now why?
I do not know. Well, it's because there was eventually a connecting walkway between the building that didn't exist and
Oh,
the
I
building
see.
I was in that plugged in there.
Okay.
Apparently, but at the time, nothing had been built yet, so that door just opened into nothingness.
Into nothingness. Wow, that's
Interesting.
unusual.
Yeah.
But
Huh.
I actually saw that kind of thing quite a bit in Athens, in Greece.
Right.
Doors on second floors that opened into nothing, and every single building it seemed like had rebar sticking out the top. And I asked a guy, I said, why is that? He said, well, because there's a completion tax in Greece. If you finish a building, you have to pay a tax.
Oh.
And so nobody ever finishes a building.
Right. I think, I'm not completely sure on this, but I think it was the same in Saudi Arabia because a lot of the houses would have rebar sticking up like they were going to build another floor.
Uh-huh.
And at least the rumor we were told was that until they finished the house, they didn't have to start paying back their home loans.
Oh.
I can't be 100% sure that's true, but I think it was.
Well, it kind of makes
That
sense,
makes
though.
sense,
Yeah.
yeah. Were they planning on, I'm thinking that maybe they're going to put another building next to it and connect them, and that's where this door was going to nowhere?
Well, that's what it was in the case of my door, where in our building,
Yeah.
it eventually connected to the other building.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at the time, the other building was some string on the ground,
Just,
Okay.
yeah.
so it just hadn't been put up yet.
Okay. Okay.
But that was fun because we were doing all the computer work for the computers that would eventually be put in that building.
Okay.
But we were doing it in the existing building. It was a 10-floor building.
Wow.
Wow.
And how long were you in Saudi Arabia altogether?
6.5 years.
Okay. Wow. That seems like a long time. I've had a variety of friends here in Boquete who have either been engineers for oil companies in exotic places or worked and lived in Saudi Arabia, which is
Wow.
kind of an exotic place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you were in the Air Force, yeah?
I was
Before
in
that?
I was in the U.S. Air Force for 8.5 years as an officer.
A graduate of West Point?
Air Force Academy.
Air Force Academy. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
No, I used to drive by it quite frequently in Colorado Springs. I grew up in the Denver area,
Right.
and so I can picture the structure. It's the vertical. I don't know what
The
you
chapel.
even call them. The chapel, yeah. And I pictured that, but I said the wrong place.
Cool. Yeah.
Right.
So that's quite a thing. I mean, not everybody gets to go to Air Force Academy and graduate.
No, and it was quite an experience. I really enjoyed it. I got a lot out of it, and
Mm-hmm.
it obviously, laid the foundation for the whole rest of my life in one way or another,
Right.
either in the Air Force or out of the Air Force.
Right.
So
Right.
it was good.
And if I'm correct, you were part of Strategic Air Command.
I was.
Yeah.
It was because my father was in the Strategic Air Command.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he was a pilot for them in the Air Force when I was growing up, and then he retired, and then I was commissioned. So I figured that since he'd gotten away, they had to grab me
Uh-huh.
to make up for it.
Did you spend a lot of time in B-52 circling the Earth?
No, I didn't because I worked in computers.
Oh, okay.
But I think my father did.
Yeah. Wow, that's an amazing thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you worked in computers and engineering,
Yes.
and that led to the rest of your career, I guess.
Well, I mean, that was a great deal of my career was that engineering and computers. I started in the Air Force developing computer graphic systems in 1973, back when people had not only not heard of computer graphic systems, they not heard of computers.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So that was really fun because we had nothing. Because, now you can buy, Microsoft something and you type in 2 words and you get a picture of,
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore or something.
Yeah,
But
right.
No, we had the ability to draw a straight line and put up text.
Wow.
And everything else we had to write.
Yeah.
So it was a little more difficult.
That sounds very challenging.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
challenging.
But it was fun. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
So the first computer that I encountered in my work life was probably could fit in this room. It was so big, and it was in a protected environment. It was temperature controlled, and for instance, as a female, I wasn't allowed in the room if I had nylons on because they were afraid the static would erase things off the tape. So the computers you were working on back in the day, were they monstrous like
It was monstrous. It would take up a whole room, much bigger than this room.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably 10 times the size of this room.
Wow.
It was a big machine, and there were lots of big tape drives with it. Tape drive was about as big as a person,
Yeah.
and that would probably hold about as much as the face of your watch now holds.
Really?
I think
Those are those like big reel-to-reel
yes,
type
the
tapes.
big reel-to-reel
Yeah.
tapes, about as big as a car tire, small
Yeah.
car tire.
Yeah.
And but they honestly don't hold that much.
No.
But we've just made so much advancement in computers since then. In fact, people have said that if the auto industry had made the same advancements that the computer industry had made, we'd now all be driving cars that got 1,000 miles to the gallon that cost 50 cents and lasted 50 years.
Wow. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. Well, now they're saying 2025 we may have flying cars.
Yeah.
Which is not something I really. I'm worried about that.
The whole-
I have a hard enough time driving on the road.
The whole traffic management problem of that associated with that just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jetsons looked like fun, but who was controlling the cars?
Yeah,
Exactly.
really.
And we have enough trouble on the ground without adding to it.
And can you imagine the sunburns you'd get riding in those bubble top flying cars? Oh, it would be awful. Greg, also though, you're an author. Yeah?
Yes, I wrote a book about my experiences teaching at Dannevirke. I went to New Zealand and trained as a teacher. I spent a year training as a teacher, and after that I got a job at a school. And the first day I was in the school, the students told me they didn't want a foreign teacher and they were going to get me fired.
Oh my.
And so we set about an 18-month experience that was not a lot of fun. And then I just went home one day and sent them an email and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm not coming back. I'm finished with this career." And I went on and went back into engineering and computers and IT and stuff. Because I thought, I could, especially with all the places I'd worked in the different industries I'd worked in. I worked for the United Nations in Switzerland and,
Wow.
and places like that. And that I thought I could, share with the kids a lot about the world.
Yeah.
And things, but,
Yeah. They weren't interested in the world?
No, not really.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But that's, not only is that rough, but it gives you a whole new perspective, doesn't it? Being the kind of unwanted foreigner,
Well, yeah.
the immigrant.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of appreciation for what other people face in places where they're faced with like some type of racial prejudice or whatever,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they're the outsider.
Yeah.
It's it's a different perspective on life, you know.
Yeah, and I got to say, most of us average white males don't get that perspective, you know?
No, not too much.
What was the age group that you were trying
High school.
Oh, boy.
High school.
So my youngest son was passionate about English literature, and what he wanted to do with his life was become an English literature teacher for high school students, until he did a student teaching. He now works as a vice president for Chicago Title.
Yes,
Yeah.
good move. Good
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really struggled to see why people would stay in teaching. But I also have to realize that my experience was kind of unique. Not everybody has that bad of an experience.
Right.
You know, there are people who, in fact, some people I know, enjoy teaching and have wonderful experiences teaching, and it's very enriching for them.
Okay.
That was not my experience.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
experience was very different. But so it's just, you just have to get the right situation, and for the right people, it's very good.
I think it takes a very special kind of masochist, person to get into teaching teenagers to do things
Yeah.
that really all they want to do is be on the phone, hang out with their friends, and forget about grown-up type.
Yeah,
people.
phones are definitely a problem. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a total distraction when the kids are just on the phone all the time.
Yeah, I would think it would be. And there's no way to say, okay,
Give me your phone.
leave your phone at the door. You know,
Well, no, you can say, "Give me your phone," but you can't. But we couldn't say, "Leave your phone at the door," because I'm not a real expert on this, but I think that a lot of the parents felt that they needed to be able to contact their kids if there was some kind of an emergency or something. So anyway, that is one potential reason why the
Yeah.
school might not want to ban phones from the school.
I've heard other cases in the U.S. of teachers trying to ban phones, or have a box you put your phone in, and I don't know what the reason is, but there's some legal reasons they can't do that.
Well, I think, and this is kind of a sad note, but because of all the school shootings,
Yeah.
Especially that one school in Texas, there was a little girl
Yeah.
who was calling 911
Oh
from
yeah.
her phone.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I guess they see it as maybe a survival. It isn't for everybody, thank goodness, but a
Yeah.
survival tool.
Well, it's a very different world from the one we grew up
It
in.
is.
you
Sure.
Yeah.
know. Nobody thought they had to contact us in case
No.
of an emergency
No.
during a school hour.
Or they could call the office.
They call the
Yeah, they call
office,
the office.
and somebody comes in with a note, gives it to your
Exactly.
teacher. You get this. You're done for the day.
Yeah.
So I remember when beepers, you would have a personal beeper.
Oh, yeah.
First came out,
Yeah.
and so I had a child who had a heart problem, and so I had a sound for his beep,
Yeah.
and then my husband had a beep, and somebody else had a beep, and I was driving my car, and the beep for my son went off, and I actually got in a car accident.
Oh,
Oh,
Scared the daylights
oh
out of me.
my! Distracted driving.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God,
Yeah.
did you crash into somebody?
Well, I'm actually reading a really good book now about how your brain works.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very fascinating. And for one thing is, which I've known for a long time, multitasking is a lie. You cannot multitask. You can only ever do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
You can switch back and forth between things.
Yeah.
But there's a time lag to make that switch.
Yeah.
And so phones and cars are almost as bad a combination as cars and alcohol.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
terms-
absolutely. I've heard that many times. I accidentally got a cool thing with this car that we bought. It has a Bluetooth stereo thing, right, that automatically connects to my phone. If my phone rings, I don't have to do anything. It just automatically answers. I can start talking. You
Well,
know?
Craig called me yesterday when I was in my car with Gabrielle.
Yeah.
And but it didn't ring. And all of a sudden, we could hear him talking, and we both went, "Who's that?"
Right. Sometimes mine will ring. Sometimes it'll just go boop once.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just start talking.
But that's a little misleading because that's definitely better than holding the phone and talking on it.
right,
Oh, yeah.
right.
But it's still, you don't want to do it. And the reason is, if you're in a car with someone and you're talking to them, they see the environment you're in. And
Yeah.
if they see somebody's crossing the street in front of you, or they see a truck's coming or something,
Uh-huh.
they'll stop talking.
Oh yeah.
But the person on the phone doesn't know that.
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
true.
And so
That's a good point.
It's actually,
Yeah.
even having the hands-free phone is still
a distraction.
safety. It's still
Yeah,
a distraction. It's still a safety issue.
Yeah. Well, luckily, most of the time here, I don't get to drive more than 20 kilometers an hour,
That's true.
even if I want to. So do you have? So you published your book on your experience teaching in New Zealand.
Sure.
By the way, I just want to say, everybody thinks of New Zealand as this place where, at least I do, where everybody's mellow and happy and kind all the time. But apparently, that's not quite the case.
Well, every country has their public image and their reality, and so New Zealand is no different.
Okay.
They have this nice green public image of we're clean, green, wonderful New Zealand, and to be fair, they do a lot to keep that up.
Yeah.
But as with everything, it's
Yeah.
not perfect.
Yeah.
So every place has really good points and points that if you were able to change the world, you might want to change. And so you just have to live with that.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have any something coming out? Are you working on a new?
Well, I'm in the Bocchetti Grothers group here,
Okay.
which I've actually been in for like the last 3.5 years. I've been attending their meetings on Skype from New Zealand.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about that.
So that's been really good. And I've been working on a book there that I've finished writing, but I'm still working on. I mean, the story's finished, but I'm working on the book still.
Okay.
And then we have, actually, there's quite a few other people in there that have just finished book. Chris Minori just published a book.
I know. I know.
This wonderful, wonderful book, because I
Yeah.
got to read it when he was writing it.
Very cool. Yeah. He's a talented dude, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so his is Penny Dreadful.
Penny
It's his
Dreadful.
book.
Yeah.
Fantastic book.
Yeah. Get yourselves copies of Penny Dreadful, kids.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's for kids like preteens, teenagers.
Yeah,
It's very much
YA,
for
I
kids.
think they call it, right?
Yeah, it's really a wonderful book. I have read the whole thing, and I worked with it when he was writing it.
Oh, cool.
So I did.
Cool.
So I've enjoyed all these people in this group. I've been able to share with them their writings, and they've
Yeah.
read mine and helped me
Yeah.
with mine, and I've really enjoyed it. So when I came in here, I didn't just drop out of an airplane. I actually knew people here,
You knew people.
Well,
so that's really
helpful.
been very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. What's the name of your book? The one about New Zealand?
Oh, it's called Swimming in the Cesspool.
That's a great name.
It is a great
I
name.
would pick that up if I saw that title
me
on the
too.
shelf.
Yeah, it's on Amazon has it, and there's a picture of a goldfish in a toxic waste dump.
Oh,
And so
my.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
it was
okay.
it was the first thing that came to mind for a title, I think. But,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
anyway,
Well-
that was an experience I'd rather be in the past and forget about now, I think.
Well, and I do know from personal experience that a lot of times, not all of them, but a lot of times teenagers tend to shun personal hygiene, deodorant, things like that. So it can get kind of fragrant in a crowded room.
It
full
was
of
really
kids.
interesting, though, because the TVNZ did a documentary on it, which you mentioned,
Uh-huh.
and they just told the whole story,
Yeah.
which I thought was really good. And one of my students actually wrote me an apology letter.
Really?
Wow.
Honestly, she sent it to the station
Okay.
and just apologized for some of the things that had happened.
All
you
right.
know,
Well,
so-
that's
So that would make you feel better.
that's straight up. Yeah.
yeah. So
Just a little redemption there.
yeah.
Okay.
So some good came out of that.
Yeah. Not all kids are hellions on their way to prison.
That's right.
No,
After a
certainly
couple
not.
birthdays, they kind of look back at those years and go, darn, I wish I hadn't done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always thought that ever since I was in high school, I always thought that was kind of a bad age to try to teach people stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Round them all up, put them in a party island of some kind, let them duke it out or whatever, get the energy out, and then let them come around to the feeling of, I wish I knew more about another country, or I wish I knew more about math.
Or
you
I
know?
wish I knew
Well,
how
that
to
happens to a
balance
lot of
my
people.
bank account.
So, that happens to a lot of people, and they'll
Yeah.
go back to junior college or
Yeah.
take a online course with a university about something they were interested in they missed in school, if it
Absolutely.
was math or
Yeah.
history or
Definitely
whatever.
happened to me. I mean, later in life, I did get curious. I wanted to know things.
Sure.
Not as a teenager, man. I just wanted to party and hot rod.
See, like I had always been interested in music, but I never really studied it. And
Right.
I remember I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind, if you remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Where the aliens come down and they go boop 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 boop, and he
Uh-huh.
goes up a third, up a minor third,
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
down, and I'm going, what on earth is he talking about? You know, I didn't understand a word of all this musical,
Okay.
musical jargon.
Yeah.
And so about 10 years ago, I started studying the piano. And it's just been fascinating, because I wanted to learn more about music.
Yeah.
I mean, I swear I probably never perform in public and I've never played for another person.
Right.
But I'm learning a lot.
Well, that's
and,
cool.
And that was why I did it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Wow.
so it's been very exciting.
Just learning for your own self embellishment that's the best thing right there. You don't
Right.
need to play. You don't need to be in one of our many shows that we need performers in. Are you sure?
I'm sure. Oh, trust me, I'm
No,
sure.
no, no. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I'm
No, I can-
absolutely sure.
I can spot a person that's sure right away.
right.
I don't have to try to hustle you. Greg, it's been fascinating.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
After I got stuck in New Zealand for 2 years.
Yeah.
And couldn't come.
Oh, man.
And so
wow.
now I've escaped.
Being stuck anywhere, can be a drag.
Well, welcome home.
Yeah,
Thank you.
welcome
Thank
home.
you very
man.
much.
Yeah. And stay in Boquete now. This is a good place.
No, absolutely.
All right. All right. And keep writing and let us know when your next tome drops.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you all.
All right, Greg, thanks.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much.
All
Thank you
right.
for inviting me.
The show is about having interesting people, and everybody you meet in Boquete is interesting
Oh,
because
absolutely.
they have a backstory. You have an amazing backstory, and it's fascinating. I mean, I've met people from, spies, engineers, teachers, musicians, actors.
Fred Merton. Fred. He played on the Brooklyn Dodgers with Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, Dr. Fred.
Dr. Fred, yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Fred.
Talk about another interesting character.
He played with Jackie Robinson on the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
way before they
way
moved to
before,
Los
yeah.
Angeles. Yeah. So you never know who you're gonna meet or run into here
No.
in Boquete.
I met him the first time I was here.
Yeah, did you?
I was just gobsmacked.
Yeah. Gave you
And-
a card with his playing card.
We're finished, right?
Nope.
No, we're
have another
still
guest.
recording. Yeah, we have another guest coming in.
Oh,
but-
okay. Well, we'll talk. And I, Bryn Kalinda,
Yeah,
I met here. I don't know if you know Bryn Kalinda.
I do. We've had him on the show.
We were at the Air Force Academy together in the same class,
Really?
but we met here.
That's amazing. How many people were in the class?
Well, it started out with about 1,200.
Okay. Oh, that's
And-
good size.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my next door neighbor went to the same high school I did,
Yeah.
Wow.
but we didn't meet till here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I've had that same experience. I've met several friends who actually lived within walking distance of where we lived in Glendale, a suburb of Los Angeles. It's like, oh yeah, my daughter lives right over here. Oh, I've walked past your daughter's house many times.
Wow.
So yeah, it's very cool.
It's just, there are some coincidences in life.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager,
Yeah.
we were stationed at Air Force Base in Central California, just east of San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
And there's a family that lived across the road from us. We knew them pretty well. They
Yeah.
were friends. The father worked with my father. They were both in the Air Force together.
Okay.
And so I was 15. And so they moved, we went to a base, went to Seattle. My father went to work for Boeing. I went to the Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
I graduated. I went to work Strategic Air Command in Omaha.
Yeah.
I was assigned to give a presentation at the Air Force Academy. So I went back to the Air Force Academy for a week's presentations.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to fly home, and I got on the plane in Colorado Springs, and it wouldn't take off.
Oh no.
And so there's a point to this. I'll get to it quickly.
Okay.
It wouldn't take off, and so they put us up in a hotel for the night.
Yeah.
And so then got up the next morning, got on the plane, went to Stapleton Airport to change planes.
Oh my.
And as I'm walking to change my plane, walking right in front of me is this guy that used to live across the street from me. And I just thought, Del Hinman. He says, Greg Smith. And I
Oh,
said,
that's
How
funny.
are you?
That's
And it was
funny.
just like all of that.
Yeah.
And we wound up, face to face, going opposite directions in a terminal
Yeah.
at Stapleton Airport.
Wow, that's one of the few references I've heard people make to Stapleton Airport because I grew up right at the end of the north-south runway at Stapleton.
Wow.
In Aurora, Colorado.
Right. My grandmother lived in Aurora, Colorado for a while.
See,
Yeah.
you were probably related. My
Probably.
grandma's name was Smith.
So, well, mine wasn't, but
Oh, okay.
that one wasn't anyway. That
Okay.
one was Miller, but
Hey, you never know. Again, Greg, it's been great having you on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. This has been fascinating.
Yes.
We do have another
We
guest.
do? If
Well,
you would like to go and get another guest.
we'll swap you guys out.
for just anybody?
Yeah,
should be
anybody
right
sitting
there.
on a bench, especially if it's a cute blonde. And while we're waiting, oh, there you
Here
go.
she comes.
Hi. Oh, that's okay. Hey, don't forget, everybody, get over to Big Daddy's, get a margarita and a
And
big pile of boom
boom
something, shrimp,
Or
yeah.
chicken.
or chicken.
Yeah, I always wonder, do they have other food other than Boom Boom?
No,
That's
no,
all I
it's
ever
all.
had.
I think they should change the name to Boom Boom Daddies.
Yeah, maybe that would
go.
help.
No, they do have very tasty burgers,
And they do. And
yeah.
Reuben sandwiches on occasion.
And yes,
Yep.
when they
Yes.
have those are great. Our next
Hi.
guest, Kat Reeser, ladies and gentlemen. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, thank
How are you?
We're gonna
You
have
guys
to get
really
really
were
close to the
desperate,
microphone.
digging the bottom of the barrel.
Oh,
thinking,
yeah. Oh, no, we could go deeper. Yeah, you should see some of the recommendations that Chris sends me. Ooh.
So, tell us, how did you get here?
How did I get here? Well, 2000, it was around 2018, 2019.
Oh.
My husband Wayne was talking to the investment guy, and he says, if you can live off of this amount of money, you can retire next year. So
Okay.
the search for where we can live on this amount of money.
Yeah.
And he did, he looked at Costa Rica and then here, and we kind of came down, did the tour thing, wandered around, went back, sold the house. We did get stuck in the States 2 days before COVID shut
Oh,
everything
boy.
down.
Oh,
So we
uh-oh.
had sold everything. Several people have heard this story, but we pretty much sold everything, moved out of the apartment. We still had my car and, of course, our suitcases.
Yeah.
And so we moved in with Wayne's stepmother in, we're from Maryland, on Eastern Shore of Maryland.
Oh, okay.
No, it was absolutely where we were supposed to be, and she loved having us. We were there for about a year and a half. She was ready for us to leave, but we were ready to leave.
Yeah.
Then we came down in 2021.
Okay.
We had to get the Friendly Nations visa,
Okay.
which at the time they were getting ready to change.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right? It's completely different now.
You get just under the wire on that.
Yes, we got in just under the wire.
Oh, wow. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we found our condo. Had no intention of buying, but we bought it, and I absolutely love
You love
my
it?
condo.
All
Yeah.
right. What area are you in?
We're in Los Molinos.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are really nice over
They
there.
are.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's too hot for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
it's perfect for
But
us.
you have that pool.
We
right
have a
next-
little pool,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And too hot, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, what, Maryland in the summertime, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can pretty much have all 4 seasons in one day.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Do you have monkeys in your neighborhood?
Yes, we do.
You do?
We have a big tree outside of our condo window, and I have plenty of pictures. But
Oh,
yes,
cool.
we have howler monkeys that hang out in that tree.
Do they wake you up in the mornings with the noise?
Not so much, usually because we're already up.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you can definitely hear them in the morning.
Yeah.
And they are loud.
They are. I've read the roar travels for miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they should call them roaring monkeys, really. It's not so much of a howl.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
male monkeys, they definitely have a distinctive sound. The first time we heard it, of course, in one room, Wayne's in the other. I'm like, what the heck is Wayne doing? And then we both discovered, oh, it's the monkeys.
It's
okay.
the monkeys.
Do you feed the monkeys?
No.
Okay,
Because if you feed the monkeys, then they will come onto your balcony, onto your, patio.
Oh.
They can come through the screens.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh.
we have heard stories where they will come through the screen,
Oh, okay.
just the screens, and especially if they see food,
Oh, boy.
they will come in. So no, we don't.
Don't feed the
don't feed
monkeys.
the-
Yeah, don't feed the cotamundis. Don't feed the monkeys unless you want them in your house.
in your house.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that keep you busy here?
Oh, please, yes. So that's what I was thinking of. The plan was to retire and to travel.
Yeah.
But now I'm here, and I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm having a great time.
Oh, that's what Gabrielle says.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have the secret to happiness in Boquete is friends.
Yeah.
So I have several different girlfriend groups.
Mm-hmm.
I have my line dancing group, of course. Yes, that's me on the dance floor doing the line dancing.
Uh-huh.
And of course, now I have my theater group because
Yeah.
I was just convinced to take a role in the Tin Woman.
And the Tin
Exactly.
Woman,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Welcome aboard.
Yes.
and of course, I thought it was going to be a little role. I'm going to be this ghost. I
Uh-huh.
don't have any lines. No,
You got a couple lines.
I
Yeah.
have a few lines.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just are in 3 scenes.
Yeah.
So you only speak in
No,
3
but
scenes.
I'm on stage.
Well,
the
yeah,
whole
the
whole
time.
You're
Yeah.
a ghost.
yeah. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to
Yep.
be real interesting.
Yes.
And, we have to change roles a bit here
Yes.
Yeah.
in Boquete because I don't know what it is. It's hard to get guys to act.
It is.
Men don't want to act.
And yeah, unless they're singing or
Yeah,
dancing, I
yeah.
guess, right?
Yeah.
I guess it seems to be kind of a thing, and I don't want to be like a stereotypy person, but all the ladies that get interested, they want to dance, they want to paint, they want to act, they want to do all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
And so many of the dudes I know, they'd rather sit home and drink rum or
Yep.
just chill.
Yes, Wayne is very content to stay at home and he's either researching something.
Uh-huh.
So my husband, I shouldn't put this out there, but he's quite a bit a font of information at this
Oh, good.
point about Boquete.
Okay.
Or he's playing video games, but with his son back in the States.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of good.
Yeah.
Sure. But we do see line dancing.
Yep.
Yes.
Do you teach?
Yes,
Yeah?
I do.
Do you hold classes?
Yes. So for a while, my buddy Sarah Zip, yay,
Yay.
Sarah, Swiss Clean Team, put her plug out
All
there
right.
too.
Hey, Sarah.
She was teaching a beginner class, and she had a pretty successful first class, but then, it didn't really seem to take off. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll kind of adjust as interest.
Increases?
Yeah.
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 If people want to learn how to dance, we will certainly teach you. And we do tend to break it down. We teach you how to do a grapevine step. We teach you how to do all the various little steps. We take the time and actually break it down.
Wow, that's fun.
Because if you don't need that,
Right?
there is another line dancing group. And if you just want to dance,
Yeah.
he's great too. But we are every Saturday.
Yeah.
We pretty much at another plug for Scotty and Denzel at Tap
Uh-huh.
Out
Tap
again,
out. Yeah.
from 2 to 5.
Right on.
Honestly, I think they sound great.
Oh, they do.
together.
Oh, they're amazing.
They sound great
Yeah,
together.
Yeah.
And he's gotten very good at sort of creating songs that we can dance to.
Uh-huh,
So he's been very encouraging for us.
Oh,
So,
that's very cool.
That's great.
so
I
if
heard
you-
you choreographed at some point in your life. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. So theater and dance, I've always danced since I was a little girl, ballet, tap, and jazz.
Okay.
And then in high school, I got involved in theater. I have to give my brother credit for this one. He was a senior. I was a freshman. He did a play the senior year. He won very good, and I thought, well, I can do better than that. So then I tried out the next year.
Nothing like sibling rivalry.
Yeah, really. But he got me to do it, and I was also in the band and some other stuff. So then I tried out for the play. We were doing MASH that year, and I got the role as one of the Bonwit sisters. I don't know if you're familiar, not the TV show, the
movie.
play, the
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
Okay.
There were these 3 USO showgirls.
Okay.
So I was one of them, and Mitzi, Fritzy, and Agnes. The stuff you still remember, right?
Yeah, isn't that
know.
funny?
And I actually choreographed our little dance routine.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
Very
you
cool.
sing also?
A little bit.
A little
You
bit?
know, I'm not going to, no showstoppers or anything, but my friends that have heard me do karaoke say I, do
All
a
right.
pretty good job.
Good. Wow.
Wow.
I hope we get to hear you do karaoke tomorrow night.
Well, the problem is,
yeah.
She
My-
tried.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah,
tried.
We
yeah.
yeah,
tried.
we're supposed to go whitewater rafting tomorrow.
Oh, that's cool.
So depending on what time we get back,
Yeah.
I will be back. But
Oh,
do it
awesome.
again, and I will be there.
We will do it again.
We will,
Actually,
I'm sure.
we're planning more of these little events and
Yep.
soirees. So you sing, you dance, you act,
I know.
and you've been hiding from us all this time.
I know.
Well, I've only been here. It'll be 2 years.
Yeah.
Our anniversary,
Yeah.
love that term, is October 1st. So we've
Okay.
only been here 2 years.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
and
I
you
just
know,
had mine July 21st.
Yep.
yeah, okay. We, when the COVID hit, the theater went away, everything just kind of shut down, and last year was the first time that it's been back. So hopefully, we can keep this show rolling, and
Yep.
maybe next year do it again. Who knows where? Who knows how?
With
But-
this kind of talent sitting right here, we might think about Mamma Mia.
Yeah,
well
but you got to
now.
get the guys for that.
Oh, I think we have some guys who sing and dance. We got some guys who are singing and dancing for Little Shop. of
Little
Horrors.
Shop.
Oh
Okay.
man, I think we get Michael Halpern in there to do
Yeah.
Mamma Mia. He'd be great.
He would.
There
Yeah.
you go.
That's a very popular show.
And it's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. One of the things I'd like to do, and this is pie in the sky, kind of at this point, is next or the following summer, January, February, whatever, do like a theater presentation in the park.
That would be good.
And a show like Mamma Mia would be perfect for that.
Because you have a
know?
lot more room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Something like that, I think it would be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people would
You
enjoy
just
that.
have to work out the acoustics, I guess, right?
We're wired. We've got
We're wired.
Yeah, we've got a full set of amps and speakers and mics. Yeah.
Well, yes, because we do have a very thriving musical community down
Yeah,
here.
we do.
We do.
Well, BCP, we still have everything from the theater that used to be at Tap Out.
That's true.
So we have a great sound system, and we've got great sound engineers. We've got 4 sound engineers this year
Yeah, we do.
to run sound for us.
And don't we have a new soundboard?
We have a brand new
soundboard.
soundboard. Yeah. So that's going to be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Acoustics in the tent are great.
Now, what is the? Somebody was asking me, what's the set schedule for the shows? So obviously, Little Shop is first, and then
No,
what?
that's
No,
last.
that's the
Oh, that's
finale.
last.
Yeah, that's the last one.
It's just so technical that they're way into their rehearsals now.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's
So what's first?
that's the most ambitious show I think we've tried to put on. The first show, first is going to be a party at the tent, an opening
Okay.
gala kind of a thing,
Yeah.
and then the very first show,
Is Motown?
I think, is the Motown or the Panamanian production.
No, that's right. The Panamanian production.
We're going to have a show produced and directed and starring Panamanians.
Nice.
And they actually brought it to the theater a couple of years ago with very little advance notice, very little advertising. They held 2 shows one night. The first show sold out completely. The second show was over half audience, over half sold out. And we're bringing that back to the tent. And I can now tell you what it's called. It's called Divorciadas Evangelicals y Vegetariana.
Okay.
It's 3 women, a divorcee, an evangelical, and a vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's quite a hoot. The script is very funny, and we've asked the writer-director to maybe throw just a little English in there if he could.
Yeah.
However, our good friend Phil Bennett saw the show, and he said, even with my very limited Spanish, it was hysterical. I understood what was happening. It was a very funny show.
I'm
So
looking forward to that one.
I think that's the first show.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have Motown Generations,
Right.
which is another dance and music show. And you want to learn to dance. Now I know of at least 3 places you can learn to dance in
Exactly.
Bouquet Day. You're line dancing with Kat.
And not everybody likes line dancing, so that's
Right.
fine.
But you can also learn dancing at the Fun Zone. They have a dance class
Right.
in San Francisco Plaza. And the BPAC,
BPAC.
the Bouquet Performing Arts Conservatory
Yep.
with Rhonda Johnson. She will teach all kinds of dance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to learn new.
Yeah.
Now, that was a big hit last year.
Yes, it was.
And this year, I think it's going to be even better. We've got new talent. The other great thing about Boquete
Mm-hmm.
is there's always new talent coming into town, especially for musicians.
Yeah.
You know, and then after that, Big Finish,
With Little Shop.
Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, complete with a man-eating plant that will actually eat all the actors.
Yep. The only ones who survive are the urchins. The three
Yeah,
urchins.
right,
They're the ones
right.
who survive.
Yeah. But again, I got to say the talent we've got in this show
Oh, my
is
goodness.
just incredible. The singers. Ingrid Suarez is one of our lead actors in that. And she has the most incredible singing voice.
She has brought rehearsals to tears.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
I mean,
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the music director just sits there with his mouth open, just going,
Uh-huh.
she needs no direction.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
and Michael Halpern is amazing. And then also we've got Mary Sorensen and Andrea Lynn
Right.
singing, and they're incredible as well.
Their harmony of those two gals are
Oh,
just
they're
amazing.
It's two of them playing the roles of three
Yeah.
singers.
And then our Seymour, he sings amazing.
Oh, Seymour is amazing. Another undiscovered talent for Boquete.
There you go.
His name is Rommel.
Rommel.
And you'll be delighted when you hear and see this guy perform. Oh, and Seth Johnson's in it too. A guy who, until now, we only thought of him as a dancer, but
That's
he
right.
can act and he can sing.
Yep.
Yeah.
His acting, sometimes you have to kind of reel him in because he's someone that enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
his dancing is kind of like that too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But,
But, you know, over the top kind of
it's fun
works
to
for
watch.
stage
Yeah.
to a point. It would be harder if we were shooting it as the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
That's okay. So that's enough about us. Let's talk about you, Kat Reeser. Did you do any kind of, were you into performing arts back in the States?
not as an adult.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're working, right? This is the
Well,
beauty
what kind of thing did you
retirement.
do? If it's not, a
Well,
state secret or anything, or illegal or embarrassing.
Okay, well, I did teach. I also taught aerobics, which again, I kind of got to give my mother credit for that. She also just kind of got me into singing, and I had guitar lessons, and I was in the high school band.
What
And
did you play in the band?
I played the baritone horn.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Now, what drove that decision?
Well, on the block, all of my neighbors and friends, they were in the band, and they came to me. It's like, we need a baritone horn player to fill a spot in the ranks. Like, okay.
So it was a marching band?
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually had a really good high school band.
Wow.
Our halftime shows, we had a really talented band director, and he just choreographed these amazing shows. I mean, people actually watched our halftime shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Don't, baritone horn, don't those weigh 1,000,000 pounds?
Yeah, it's a small tuba.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy, but you know,
Okay.
I had fun with it, and
All right.
actually did eventually learn how to play the thing.
Oh, that's cool.
But no, I helped my mother choreograph some of her aerobic stuff,
Okay.
which kind of got me into that. And then
So your mom taught aerobics.
my mother taught aerobics.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and we'd just hang out, and she'd play records, and we'd come up with dances for her to do.
Oh, awesome.
And then as an adult, you know, I worked, right?
Right.
Obviously your work. But eventually I went part-time and I started teaching aerobics.
Okay.
So I'm actually certified in group fitness.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool. All right.
And then
And you're a massage therapist too.
and
aren't
I'm
you?
also a massage therapist.
Oh.
Well, because of playing volleyball and aerobics, I started developing plantar fasciitis and lower back pain, and just a lot of pain,
Yeah.
which people in pain know.
Oh,
So then
yeah.
I discovered these things called trigger points. It was at an aerobic seminar. The guy starts talking about trigger points. He brought out these foam rollers. Now, we'd been doing aerobics all day. I was in so much pain.
Right.
So anyway, we start rolling out our legs with this foam roller, and it hurts so bad. If you have a trigger point, it is going to hurt a lot.
Ooh.
But after rolling it out for like 30 seconds, I stood up, my pain was gone.
Really?
And I said, I have got to do this for people. I bought the trigger point handbook, and a week later, I was enrolled in massage school.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Are you doing massage here?
Not really, not as a professional, but if somebody comes to me in pain, yeah, we can work something out.
Okay, cool.
Great.
Because I have the Friendly Nations visa. I don't really have a work visa, so
Right.
But
But you can actually, I think, get one of those. I think
Yeah.
that's not one of the protected professions.
it isn't, and I
Okay.
was actually kind of amazed by that.
Yeah. So tell me just a little more about a trigger point.
Okay, so a trigger point is a small little area of tightness within a taut band of muscle. This is the actual definition. But the thing just causes an immense amount of referred pain.
Okay.
So, for example, mine was in my soleus, which is one of your calf muscles in the back of your calf. When I press on it, it hurts a lot. But when I press on it, I can feel that pain in my lower back and in my feet.
Oh, okay.
Think of it as similar to when you have a heart attack.
Okay.
Where do you feel the pain?
Right.
Right, in your left
in your left
arm,
arm,
or for women, it's your lower back.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily in your heart.
Yeah.
It's somewhere else.
Yeah. Sometimes it can feel like upset stomach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what happens with this trigger point. So you really just need to massage it out, stretch it out,
Okay.
and just kind of work it out. It's another analogy would be a skip on a CD,
Okay.
right? For those of you that know what a CD is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When every time that goes around, it hits that skip and
Yeah.
it hits that little spot.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to work that spot out, smooth it out, and then the CD is fine.
Okay.
But
okay.
until you work that out, it's just this constant
Yeah,
circle
yeah.
of pain.
All right. Now you mentioned another ailment that you have, and I too,
Oh.
I think I'm starting to have a fascious plantar.
Yeah.
What is plantar fasciitis?
Plantar fasciitis
Plantar.
is inflammation on the bottoms of your feet.
Yeah.
So again, it could be caused by several things, anything from shoes to whatever. But for the most part, for me, it was again this tightness in my calf muscles that ended up causing either the referred pain to the bottom of the feet.
Okay.
So it's not the heel spur, anything like that.
Right.
The heel spur forms. The body is trying to protect itself from pain in that area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it builds more bone.
I gotcha.
So the bone spur is not actually causing the pain.
Okay.
So that's a common
I
misconception.
think mine
as
is
well.
caused by sleeping. So I get up every morning, I limp around like Chester from Gunsmoke.
Right, because you haven't stretched out those muscles.
Ah.
And then once later on in the day, after you've been moving around a little bit, it probably feels better.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely, it does.
So you need to warm
Yeah,
up those
yeah.
muscles first thing in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
And loosen them up.
Oh, thank
Did
you.
not know this was going to be a medical show
Thank you,
today.
doctor. That's excellent news.
I'm not a doctor. I do not play one on TV.
But she does one on the
consult your
radio.
physician.
Oh man, that's fascinating. I think that would be helpful though.
Yeah.
It's just a new thing that started going on. You know? And I can't wear my really good shoes, my high heel pumps or anything.
That's a bummer.
Exactly.
No, it's cool. So you do a little massage. You do a lot of line dancing.
lot of line
How often are your classes, by the way?
Right now we're doing Thursday evenings. And right now, another unsolicited plug, the Villa San Miguel El Taburete.
Oh, yeah,
here in
yeah.
Alto Boquete.
Yeah.
He pretty much lets us dance there for free on Thursday nights.
Oh, awesome.
So we always try to support,
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
events he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? But he's a great guy.
Okay.
So usually Thursday nights around 5:00. 4:30, I do about a half an hour for my beginners, and then
Okay.
another hour for everybody else.
Okay.
But like I said, if you're really interested, show up on Saturdays for Scotty and
Yeah,
Denzel. They
yeah.
have a new name, the Suicide
The Suicide
Suicide
Winders.
right?
Yeah.
Just to kind of see if you like it.
Uh-huh.
Now, I will say this week, again, because I'm going, whitewater rafting,
Yeah.
and I think Sarah, who would also lead the group, I think she has to work. So I'm
Okay.
not sure there'll be a big presence this Saturday.
Okay.
But still go out and enjoy the music.
Yeah.
You know.
And if you do, go out and then stay for the fundraiser.
And then stay for the fundraiser.
Yeah, and the
Exactly.
fun. Oh,
Yep.
by the way, they're going to have a special dinner
That's right.
offering a ravioli dish.
With mushroom ravioli.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah, yeah.
Bocchetti Inclusive.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the group?
Inclusion
Inclusive
Bocchetti. Yeah. Chris Young put that together.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Chef Sunny does an amazing job over there at the Tap Out. Her food is just, they really upped their game since Sunny took the helm, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know,
They had a great party last night. It was
fabulous.
fun watching
Oh
you
my-
dance.
yeah.
It was a good party last night. DJ
Yeah.
Mike, man.
Our buddy
come
DJ
on
Mike
out.
Weber. Yeah, man.
Always room for one more on the dance floor. And it didn't rain, which was amazing.
It was awesome.
So we actually got to use both dance floors last night, which was nice because everybody was dancing.
And at
yeah.
times, both floors were packed.
Yep.
Which is a great thing to see.
Yep.
Yeah. I hope DJ Mike feels good about that.
Yep, plug
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Last Thursday of every month.
Last Thursday of every month. Yeah.
Man, we're getting them all in there today.
I know it. Well, you
That's
know
why
what?
we're all so busy, because we have all these things going on.
And we got so many great places and friends to plug
Uh-huh.
and events and yeah.
Oh, and Amigos Animales. I'm also involved in that.
Oh, there
put
you
another
go.
plug
Wow.
out there.
So
Amigos.
that's your Sunday.
This
That's
is Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I will say this, that in the 7.5 years we've lived here, the amount of stray and feral animals has decreased by
Yep.
an amazing amount. And a large part of that is thanks to Amigos de Animales
Yep.
and their
And that's the
programs.
thing. If you see them, and it's kind of like, imagine what it would be like if we didn't have this.
Yeah. It would be like, it would be like Bali.
Yeah.
They have
And Costa Rica.
dogs
and, yeah.
everywhere. Yes, I'm gonna snap a quick shot, can I? Because this is gonna go on our Facebook page. There we go.
Oh,
I think I
man.
got at least one in focus.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So,
My eyes are probably closed.
yeah, well, I'll catch you in between blinks. That's why I use the quick camera for this one. This is wow. Our hour's almost over.
Almost zip by again.
Another.
And
quickie
here I was worried
zippy.
about what we'd talk about.
I know, huh?
See?
I think if we expanded the show to 2 hours, we wouldn't have much of a problem
I
getting
don't think
conversation.
so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last gentleman, very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like, I've never been anywhere. Our vacations, again, because we both worked so hard, it was
Yeah.
like, oh, let's just go to Cancun, do
Uh-huh.
all inclusive, and just hang out and
Did
Yeah.
you do that?
do. Oh yes.
Yeah.
We sometimes twice a year we
Oh,
just
yeah.
go hang out at one of those all inclusive resorts and
Nice.
just. I got to sit back in a lounge chair with a drink with an umbrella in it. I was a
Oh,
happy girl.
sweet.
Yeah.
For our 6th wedding anniversary, Gabrielle. Oh, I love you, Gabrielle.
Oh, there you go.
Surprised me with a trip to Cancun.
Yeah.
And 1 minute, good. We did exactly that. Sat on the beach, drank copious amounts of tequila and margaritas, and just baked.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And that was the first time I'd ever been out of the U.S.
Oh.
That was back in 1990. No.
Yeah.
It-
People
no, it
need
was-
to get out of the
Yeah,
U.S.
it was a
Live
long time ago.
somewhere, or just go, but really experience it. I think.
Yeah,
Because going to an all-inclusive resort,
Well, that's a
you're
great-
very protected.
That's a
but,
great getaway for
Yeah.
a break, but that's
Yeah.
not actually traveling.
Yeah, you got to see how the rest of the world lives.
Yeah, all right.
So
Well,
we're out of time, right? So about that Barbie movie.
we got a few
huh?
seconds. Hey, that was a lot of fun. I got to say, I enjoyed the Barbie movie. I don't care what anybody
Thank you.
says.
No, I think you have to see it to
Yeah.
really understand what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
with it.
Absolutely. But
Okay.
that's it for us today.
Oh,
now
too
we're out of
bad.
time. Have a great week, everybody.
You too. Have a great week.
Thanks, Pam.
We'll see you
All
next week.
right.
Thanks,
Thank
Kat.
you guys. See you in the stage. Trying to
Yes.
think of what the term for that is. All right.
Oh,
Oh, we have a table read on Monday.
Table read on Monday.
yeah.